After a bike ride, I like to have a stretch straight away before I cool down and get all stiff. So start settling down, find your way to the mat and get onto all fours. You want to stack your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And just put your phone or watch on Do Not Disturb to make sure you can do this in peace and quiet. So we're going to start off with some cat-cows, and my cat Lucky must have caught wind of this because she's trying to join in. But anyway, as you get into position for your cat-cows, making sure you exhale as you go into the cat position. Take a nice deep breath as you come into the cow, and you'll find that the cat position feels really good after being in a cycling position. You can really push into it. I'm really stiff in my lower back at the moment, so my cows aren't very deep, but you can curl as much as you feel comfortable. So this is quite a gentle movement anyway, but just breathing into it. But with all of these movements, just using your breath to make it feel nice and smooth. On any given day, I might spend more or less time in any of these poses, so feel free to pause if you want to spend more time, or speed ahead if you want to spend less. From the last neutral position, we're going to just do a bit of a hover to allow our feet to stretch. So you're just going to curl your toes under and lift your knees and hold that for a few breaths. So from here, drop your knees down, put your big toes together, widen your knees as much as the width of your mat, and just sink your hips back into your first child's pose. Reaching your hands forward, this should really feel good on your upper and middle back. Just you feel yourself being able to sink a little bit deeper with each breath. From here you can add a tricep stretch for the back of your arms. Put your palms together and just lift them up nice and high, and just enjoy that stretch on the back of your arms, which have also been working quite hard. From here, start coming up to neutral so we can go into puppy pose. This should be quite good for opening the shoulders as well. So just putting your forearms down, and you're going to sink your chest to the floor, but this time keeping the hips up nice and high. Come back up into a neutral position before curling my toes under and then walking my palms back. And I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to stretch my feet even more, so pulling the toes back, and then as I transfer weight backwards and sit on my feet, I'm going to feel a nice deep stretch. And at the same time, I'm going to take advantage of that position to massage out my quads and hip flexors. So I can just use my palms to kind of just press across my quads and push them downwards. And also use my thumbs to just massage out my hip flexors as well at the top. All these areas have been working really hard while I was on the bike, so I'm quite grateful to just get a chance to just push these out. From here I'm going to come back to a neutral position and uncurl my toes. I want to stretch my feet but in the opposite direction now, so I'm going to have my insteps on the floor and then just transfer my weight, pushing into my hands and my feet so that I can lift up and feel a stretch across all the top of the feet. Just hold for a few seconds while you're breathing. And then release. From here we're going to go into a second child's pose. So again, big toes touching, knees apart, sink backwards, and this time reaching a little bit further forward to just increase that nice stretch across the back. Coming out nice and slowly, we're going to see if we can get some mobility into the upper back now. So just get your body in a nice neutral position, lift the arm up as far as it will go comfortably, and then go all the way underneath, putting your left ear and left shoulder on the floor if that's possible, and just feel that stretch. You can use the other hand to help rotate a little bit further. Coming out the way you go in, just reverse that and then get ready to repeat on the other side. And remembering, same again, using the other hand to just help rotate when you're ready. And again, as you come out, reverse the way you came in and then come back to a neutral position. You can extend the right leg long now and just get a bit of a stretch on the calf muscle. So curling the toes under, lengthen your leg, and you can just roll over on the ball of your foot backwards and forwards, just feeling a nice gentle calf stretch. From there, you can put your weight into your hands and bring your right foot forward into a nice runner's lunge. We're going to work on stretching the hip flexor on the back leg now. Just adjusting your weight as necessary. If you want more of a stretch, you can move the back leg further back as much as you want. From here we're going to centralise our weight, coming up through the middle, and then work on the front leg by stretching the hamstring. So frame your feet and just start pulling your weight backwards. You can Keep a soft knee, or if it feels comfortable, you can lock the front leg. And I like to adjust my toes forwards and backwards until I can feel a really deep calf stretch as well as a hamstring stretch. Breathing nice and deeply. From here I'm going to go into a crescent lunge, so I'm going to bring my weight forwards, and this is a nice long stretch for the hip flexor, so I'm going to centralise my weight, but I also want to get a chest stretch in, so as I kind of lean slightly backwards nice and deep, I'm going to pull my arms down and feel that stretch across the chest. So pulling my elbows down and flaring my chest at the same time, breathing in at the top and out as I pull my arms down. Bringing my arms down, I'm going to settle down for some hip openers now. So just letting my toes drift out a bit, and I'm going to use my hand to just gently roll my hip via my knee sideways. So I'm going to roll over onto the edge of my foot sword to Taekwondo people, and just open up a few times. I'm going to transcend from this into pigeon shortly. But just before I do that, I'm going to just use my knee to just get a bit more of a back twist while I'm here at the same time. Now when you come into pigeon, you can have your foot in a kind of right angle parallel, so whatever's comfortable for you. My mobility means that I've got to bring my foot backwards. So heel and knee still in alignment with my left and right hip, which is important. Again, I can increase the stretch by putting the back foot further away, and then once I'm comfortable that I'm 50-50 weight and my hips are square, I'm going to let my body sink down. I'm going to come down onto my arms and let my head travel towards the floor. If your forehead touches the floor, fine. If not, just get as close as is comfortably possible. In this position, this can feel quite challenging, so just using your breath to let everything loosen up should feel a nice relaxation and stretch across your glutes. After a few breaths, we're going to just use our hands to come out of the position, walking backwards, and we're going to get to repeat this on the other side. Bending the left leg, and again just rolling over the ball of my foot, pulling the toes back, feeling a nice calf stretch. This side was a bit tighter, so I was doing it for a little bit longer. But once I've done this a few times, I'm going to come back into a runner's lunge to repeat on the other side. On many of these exercises, one side feels different from the other. That's quite normal. My right hip flexor is much tighter than the other side, so take that into account and adjust as necessary. Now, concentrating on the hamstring again. Now you're going to drop your weight back, pull the toes towards you, and just push the heel into the ground. Again, either with a soft knee or a straight leg, whatever's available to you. is correct. From here we're going to come forward again to repeat the crescent lunge and chest stretch. Sinking nice and deep into that lunge. So breathing in, and as I exhale and breathe out, sinking a little bit deeper. And now the hip opener, back twist, followed by pigeon for the other side. And just rolling the knee out, feeling this more on the hip. I'm pushing the knee, but I'm rotating my hip and rolling over my foot. Should feel quite good. And then just getting a little bit of a back twist and breathing into that. As we transfer into pigeon, again just taking care to carefully place your foot and knee in a position that's good for you. For me, this side is actually easier than the other, but it takes time to get it right in any case. Again, using my hips and my shoulders as a guideline, I want my knee and heel in line with both my hips, and then just evening up the weight and squaring up my hips before I start going down. And just using my breath to release any tension. So like I said on the other side, quite a challenging pose, but really quite satisfying at the same time. After a few breaths, just using your hands to push yourself back up. And this time I'm going to just roll over onto my left glute and then just bring my feet forward, just rolling around. Put the soles of my feet on the floor. I'm keeping my feet about as wide as my mat, and I'm going to just windshield wiper my knees now to again just loosen up the hips a little bit further. Just a few times each side, breathing nice and deeply. So instead of using a foam roller, I'm going to just use the floor to roll out any tightness left in my glutes. So I'm going to tuck my knee in nice and close to my body, and hugging my knee in, I'm going to eventually grab my right foot with my left hand to be able to just hold my leg in a position where I can roll over onto my glutes and then extend the hamstring. So again, just using your own mobility for this, but it should feel really good. So I'm putting my forearm down so I can go a bit lower, but you can do this with a palm and a straight arm. But I like to put my forearm down so I can just get a little bit lower onto the glute. And then as I feel comfortable, I'm going to extend my hamstring even further. If it feels good, you can kind of linger in any of these positions, either on the side of your glute or with the hamstring up. And when you're ready, we're going to do the other side. So this time, right hand on left foot. And again, just rolling over, feeling the weight going across the muscles and just ironing out any last bits of tension. As well as maybe pausing in certain spots, you can actually adjust the speed that you do move as well to anything that feels better for you. Okay, after a few times, we're going to come out of it now, bring my weight back to the center, soles of the feet together, and just letting gravity do its work. Bring the knees down. You can use your elbows to gently pull the knees down as well. And after a few breaths, we're going to just come forward, so tucking your chin in and exhaling as you bring your forehead towards your toes. Now, some people might touch, I'm miles away, but I can still feel a decent stretch in any case. So finishing up now, I'm just going to come back up to central position, put my palms together at my chest, and just remember to feel grateful for the time I've given myself. Namaste. And if you like, you can just stay here for a bit longer, feeling the gratitude and remembering what you've achieved today.